Hey, welcome back inside of the Plastic Planet. It is Beer Friday up in here, and we are having a great time. Why? Because I just got one of the most ultimate Hot Toys Star Wars figures that I have ever wanted. Ever since I was, 10 years old, and I was reading out of my very well-used, very well-loved Return of the Jedi movie novelization, probably back in 1985, maybe 1986, when I read this passage. Luke sensed the underlining meaning in Kenobi's statement. He heard the words as a command. He shook his head back at the vision. I can't kill my father. You should not think of that machine as your father. It was the teacher speaking again. When I saw what had become of him, I tried to dissuade him, to draw him back from the dark side. We fought. Your father fell into a molten pit. When your father clawed his way out of that fiery pool, the change that had burned into him forever, he was Darth Vader, without a trace of Anakin Skywalker. Irredeemably dark, scarred, kept alive only by machinery and his own black will. Does that just send shivers up your spine? Because it sure does for me. I mean, I waited 20 years to see that on screen in Revenge of the Sith in 2005, and I gotta tell you, I was not disappointed. I was not disappointed one bit. This was an expectation I'd had since I was 10 years old from this book, and I was not disappointed one bit. So I am so stoked, so incredibly stoked to unbox for you guys tonight this Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Knick-Knack's Plastic Planet. With your host, it's Knick-Knack!
Alrighty, and here it is removed from its shipper. I'm not going to dilly-dally around too much here tonight. We're just going to get right into the brass tacks of this incredibly awesome Hot Toys figure, which I am so excited to crack open for you guys tonight. But here is the outside of the box. Pretty standard for a Hot Toys figure. Nothing really to see here. Nothing really to take note of. It looks exactly like every single Hot Toys box that you and I have probably ever seen. Nevertheless, looking really good. Yeah, I'm just really excited to get this thing open. Alrighty, so I am opening this as right now live here. Well, not live, obviously I'm recording it, but I've not seen the inside of this myself. So my first impressions will be your first impressions, which is always kind of fun in these things. If I can get the box removed here. Alrighty. Right there, ladies and gentlemen, is your inside box art. Looking nice, looking nice. Not really much to write home about, but looking really nice. Not overly done, not over the top, but very, very nice. Fighting some reflection in here. Yeah, looking good. All right, let's see how he looks. Alrighty, again, can't really make out a lot because of the glare in here with the light reflecting off the plastic shell here. But, you know, hey, just like his predecessors, the earlier, much earlier Sideshow Collectibles Anakin Skywalker, both versions of it, the Sith Lord version and the regular version, this one comes with a lot of accessories. It looks like we've got, you know, multiple hands in here, got his mechanical arm / hand, lightsaber blades, and this one, unlike the Sideshow ones, however, do come with, as you probably well know, Dooku saber as well, which is really cool. So, alright, well, let's get him open, shall we? Alrighty, and here he is removed from his box, from his plastic cocoon of goodness. And like I said before, there is an absolute plethora of accessories that come with this figure. I actually have to move the camera back to get a real long shot of it all, to get it all in one shot. But, I mean, the figure is looking absolutely gorgeous. Of course, with all of these Hot Toys figures, you need to take care when you're removing them from the package, just because of all the packing precautions Hot Toys puts on these figures, including, you know, the plastic booties, the plastic gloves, the neck wraps, everything. You just need to be really careful. Take your time. Don't rush it. I'm an impatient person, and I have a hard time doing that, so it's sort of hypocritical of me to say that. But nevertheless, do take your time. You don't want to jack up your figure. I almost feel like the precautions that they take to ensure the figure isn't damaged during packing, it can be almost negated by the fact that you could easily damage him trying to remove all that stuff when you're trying to, you know, set him up. And it's not the plastic bags themselves, it's the second grade tape that they use to wrap it up that it sucks. Anyway, so yeah, just take your time. Don't get out a knife. Don't be dumb. You'll get it done. So anyway, on to these accessories. Tons of accessories. I mean, just like the original Sideshow Collectibles Anakin Skywalkers that came out, you know, oh gosh, almost 13 years ago now, maybe 12 years ago. They come with a ton of accessories here. We've got the mechanical hand. I don't know if I'm ever gonna set him up with this, mostly because the only time you ever saw this in the movie was when he was, you know, shirtless in bed, and I'm certainly not going to be displaying my Anakin shirtless, so I may be not discarding this accessory, but it may be living permanently inside the box. Of course, you've got the battery-operated lightsaber we're going to be setting up and igniting for you guys. I absolutely love this feature about Hot Toys figures. It's one of my absolute favorites about them is the fact that you can light these bad boys up, and they look absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, we've got another lightsaber. I don't think this one lights up. I wonder if that blade's removable, because I'm not seeing a solo lightsaber hilt with that, or an unlit lightsaber hilt, I should say. Of course, we've got the Count Dooku blade we looked at earlier, looking really cool. And then just a multitude of different hand gestures and poses, both gloved and ungloved. So really cool there. Of course, we've got my favorite teeny tiny shit little batteries. Hate that stuff, but that's a necessary evil with these things, I suppose. And then we've got some spare pegs, some spare screws for you, just in case you jack some stuff up with it. That's probably a good thing. And then there's these little, I don't even know if you're going to be able to see them, these little tiny like belt notches that it comes with, some spare belt notches. I hope to God I never actually have to take these out, because if I jack him up and lose these little belt notches that you see right there, there's no way these clumsy hands are going to be able to fix that. So, at any rate, so that's the accessories. The figure itself looks fantastic. Again, it'll be an interesting day if I ever get a Hot Toys figure I don't like, but this one looks really good. I don't know if it's a dead ringer for Hayden Christensen, but it's pretty close. I think it looks pretty good. You know, the hair is cool. It's molded plastic. It's not like Barbie hair, so that's fine. The Jedi cloak is really nice. It's very soft. And his tunic is like, I think it actually might be leather. So that's really cool. If it's not, it's a very high-grade pleather, I guess. But I think it's actually leather. So that's really cool. Belt is nice. Boots look great. Again, his pants, the tunic, everything looks really, really good. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to give this a little 360 for you. Spin him around. Let's just see what he looks like with his just cloak on in a very generic pose. But looking really, really sharp. Really digging this figure. I say that every time I open a Hot Toys, though, but I do really dig this figure. I'm excited. So anyway, let's get him posed up with some of these accessories, and yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
Would you like to hear a story?
Alrighty, so I have now removed his Jedi robe, and I gotta tell you, it was really kind of cool because it just kind of flopped off of him, very, very smooth, like almost like in the film. That was really kind of cool. I mean, not that it fits loose or anything, but it just the material is just so soft that it just kind of moves right off of him, flows right off of him. It's very cool. But anyway, you can get a good look at his outfit underneath the robe. Again, looking really good. That Jedi tunic, I should say, is looking really, really good. And I do dig the belt a lot. I'm used to the Sideshow version, the old Sideshow version, which had these pouches and everything, but they were so clunky and fit so haphazardly on the belt, and that they'd fall off or look loose. But not here. They're very, very tight, very streamlined. I mean, sure, you can't open them up and put shit in them, but I mean, who cares? That's not what it's for. So yeah, really tight, really nice presentation here. The figure is looking really, really good. I'm really digging this figure so far. Absolutely fabulous, fantastic. I was looking at the directions. It looks a little involved, I gotta tell you, to put all these different hands and whatnot on. I'm going to give it a shot for you guys. Also, I did note that you can remove the blade from the lightsaber hilt, so that's good. In order to put it on his belt, however, you need to insert one of these tiny little pegs into the hilt of the lightsaber, which in turn will go in there. So there's that too. Everything seems to have a process here. So I mean, my advice and what I'm going to do is once I get him into a pose, I'm going to probably keep him in that pose for a very long time. So I'm going to have to choose wisely here. But I don't know. This just doesn't feel like the kind of figure I want to be manipulating with constantly. Again, I mean, this tunic is very, very cool. It's very leathery. But I just feel like there could be some potential long-term issues with this, kind of like there was with the Sideshow version, which I'll show you guys in a moment, which my Anakin's, my Sideshow Anakin's tunic's cracked and is looking kind of worn at this point, and I would hate to see that happen with this figure, but it may be an inevitability down the road. So, I mean, he may have to live inside of a detolf no matter what. Yeah. But anyway, that's not here nor there right now. Right now, hey, it's fresh, it's crisp, it's brand new, and it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to try to get some more of these accessories on. Let's try to get this lightsaber lit up for you guys so you guys can see that. And yeah, let's do that. Alrighty, so this is kind of nerve-wracking, actually. To remove his infamous right arm here, you actually have to remove some of these little tiny tabs on, I guess this is a bracer they call it. I kind of always thought it was like a gauntlet. Like a forearm armor. But anyway, you need to remove these little tiny tabs and to loosen it up, and then of course you remove the fist, and then it should all come off, one fluid motion. So let's give that a shot and see what happens. Alright, so I've carefully removed the fist, as you can see. I'm going to just slip it up. Yep, just slips right off, see? Just slipped it right off. Alright, then you bunch up the sleeve. And then
Squeeze too hard.
you actually pull. I mean, you actually physically just pull it right out. I had to do it off camera because I don't want to break my figure on camera. I got to be honest. But no, popped right out. So yeah, so we're good. We're moving on to step 2 now. Now I got to put the little tiny screws in this guy, and so I got to go dig into my junk drawer and find my my small screwdrivers. And yeah, so we'll get this going. Alrighty, so using my precision screwdriver, I'm going to remove this little tiny screw. I hate doing this shit. Seems to be going pretty smooth so far though. I don't want to take it off too far because I don't want it to fly across the room. So there we go. All opened up, ready for some batteries. Now I'm going to have to put them in 6 different ways before I get it right, I'm sure. So here we go. These things are so freaking small, and the payoff here is so small because, well, it looks so awesome lit up. I just love it lit up. You can't keep it lit up because you'll have to, I'll have to repeat this step, again, and then I'll have to go out and find these batteries, somewhere like at Walmart or someplace. So what a pain in the ass. I mean, I love it. It's cool, but I don't know. Maybe it isn't a permanent display option this time around with this figure, but I'm doing it for the sake of this review. Hopefully that worked. So we'll put in a blade and find out. Fits right in there. And let's see. Oh, there it goes. See? Lit right up. Oh, that's great. Look how awesome that looks. Oh, I hope the camera's doing it justice here. Oh, that looks great. All right. All right. Pat on the back for Knick-Knack. That's awesome. Alrighty, so we are returning this part onto his arm. Hopefully it just screws right. Hopefully it just slides right in there, and it does. That's beautiful. Oh, that's great. And we just slide this down, and then replace the gauntlet or cuff back onto his arm. Very carefully, obviously.
Troubled, I sense you are.
Alrighty, so after wrestling with this figure for a little bit with this gauntlet and his sleeve, and I had to do it off camera because I just couldn't maneuver it on camera for you guys. Yeah, I finally got his lightsaber all lit up, attached, looking great, right? you know what? I've actually kind of found an annoying QC issue with this figure, and I'm not happy. Apparently, in order to keep to light the lightsaber with the switch is, here on his forearm, you actually have to remove the gauntlet every single time to do that. And so in order to casually walk by and turn on the lightsaber, unless you don't want him displayed with his gauntlet on, which I guess you could do, you have to take the whole damn thing apart in order to light this up. That sucks, man. That sucks. That's a QC issue. I mean, okay, so why not just have the lightsaber hand be his left hand instead of his right if that's the issue? That's dumb, Hot Toys. I'm sorry. I'm not down with that. Because again, this is a feature that I love. Look how awesome this looks. I mean, this looks fantastic. This is awesome looking. But that is unacceptable to me. For the price of this figure, I ought to be able to walk by, flip a switch, have his lightsaber on, and enjoy it once in a while. I can't keep it like this. This would die within an hour or two if I left this lit up like this. So, hell, I'm surprised it hasn't started dimming in the time I've been futzing with it. Not that this is a really big deal, but you don't want to be snapping and unsnapping this gauntlet, 100 times, because it will eventually not work like it should and not fit snugly like it should. And it does fit nice and snug, but if you mess with it 100 times over, that's not gonna happen. Another thing too, the figure does feel really rather stiff, and I don't want to push it. I was gonna have him, displayed in more of a dynamic, two hands on the lightsaber hilt pose, and I didn't want to push it. So anyway, but yeah, otherwise it is looking really, really nice. I do dig that lit up saber, and I mean, maybe I guess I could just display him without the gauntlet. Then it's really easy to flip because it's just right under his sleeve here. But I don't know if in the movie you've ever not wore this. So I think he did the whole movie. So that kind of sucks. I mean, I guess I could have, I don't know. Anyway, but so that's a disappointment right there. So there you go. There you go. I finally found something to really bitch about with a Hot Toys figure. Finally, after so many reviews. And that's unfortunate because this is a figure that I've been waiting a really, really, really long time for. Not that it's a deal killer for me, but it's disappointing nevertheless. Alrighty, so here he is with his Jedi robe back on, his lightsaber still ignited, looking really awesome. And maybe this is a compromise here, because you could display him with the lightsaber lit up without the gauntlet on and not knowing it with having the Jedi cloak over it. So there's a compromise. That's not ideal, but that's better than the latter. So, anyway, so you just wouldn't have the gauntlet on him, but you'd have the Jedi robe covering it up so you wouldn't know otherwise. And still looking really dynamite here. Really fantastic. So I'm really pleased with this figure. Other than that, the stand looks great. I do talk about the stands a lot. Stand looks really good. They do give you this, looks like this adhesive that you can put on the stand to put a grate on it. I won't be doing that. As you know, if you watch my other reviews, I'm kind of done with stands that look like grates. I kind of like this just real smooth, looks like ship decking. Very nice. So I'm happy with this. Figure looks great. How about now it's time for a little bit of a compare and contrast for you guys. Let's get to it.
Would you like to hear a story?
Alrighty, first and foremost, here's the most obvious comparison to make. The new Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker, obviously right here, with the old Sideshow Anakin Skywalker from, I want to say, 2006, maybe? There's just no comparison. And it's not a fair comparison to make. This was one of Sideshow's earliest 1/6 scale figures, and, it was, the line was in its infancy when this was done. But, and for its day, this was a great figure. I don't want to shit on this figure. It was a great figure. But as you can see, there has been some longevity issues with the pleather on his tunic here. And like I spoke about, earlier, I mean, these little things hardly can stay on. This figure is seen better days. And, there's just no comparison. It's not a fair comparison, and we're not gonna make it. But yeah, there's the comparison there. If you're on the fence between getting this one because you still have this guy, this might dissuade you to go ahead and fire up this guy, because there really is no comparison whatsoever. Alrighty, and here he is next to yet another early Sideshow figure. This, of course, is the Episode 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi from roughly around the same time period as that Anakin. And remarkably, I feel like this figure has actually aged much, much better This figure is still looking pretty nice, actually. Although, I'll admit, I do have the new Obi-Wan Hot Toys on pre-order right now. Yeah, be making payments on that one shortly, I'm sure. But here he is, next to the Episode 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi from Sideshow from '06. Again, I mean, this figure is actually held up very nicely, in my opinion. Still looking pretty sharp, but yeah, it's still hard to compare the two. Because, I mean, Hot Toys, what Hot Toys is doing in 2018 is, head and shoulders above what Sideshow was doing back in 2006, 2007. Not a fair comparison. But again, that's what they look like together. Alrighty, and here he is next to a little more recently updated Anakin Skywalker. This was from, again, from Sideshow Collectibles from the, I would say right around 2009, 2010, 2011, the Clone Wars version of Anakin Skywalker, which I actually dig this figure a lot, based off the animated Clone Wars series from Lucasfilm. I dig this figure a lot still, actually. But again, it doesn't compare, and it's not a fair comparison, I'll say that again. But nevertheless, there's the comparison on those two as well. Alrighty, and now time for how about a little more of an apples to apples comparison. Here is my New Hope Farm Boy Hot Toys Luke Skywalker from just 2 years back with the Anakin Skywalker. And again, yeah, these two look really awesome together. I'm sorry I don't have my Luke better posed up for you. I did put him, I don't normally keep him on his awesome red grate stand. I usually have him just kind of standing solo on my shelf. But so I dug out my stand just so you could get a height comparison. And Anakin is actually marketably taller than Luke, which I suppose is appropriate. Yeah, these two are looking great. I wanted to light up my saber, and again, I must have left it on, or maybe it just died. It's not working right. I'm sure it just needs new batteries. It just sucks. That's just annoying. I love this feature, and I hate this feature with these light up sabers. It's such a love-hate dilemma for me, because these batteries aren't cheap to replace either, as you probably know if you have one or two of these. So anyway, there are those two together, looking awesome. Yeah, I mean, Hot Toys just doesn't screw things up too bad, and they damn well shouldn't. Not for the price. So looking really nice there, looking really good. Alrighty, and here he is posed up next to the New Hope version of Darth Vader from just a few years back as well. So you can kind of see a comparison shot of Anakin with his alter ego Darth Vader together. So yeah, totally freaking awesome. Yeah, they're about, Darth Vader's just a little taller than Anakin, as he should be. Again, looking really, really cool. Really digging that. Really awesome. Overall happy with this figure. Could do with a little more of a user-friendly feature on the gauntlet here with the light-up saber. But other than that, very pleased with it. Again, just one more close-up on that face sculpt. Yeah, looking pretty awesome. I wish they would have gotten his scar a little more pronounced. You can't really even see it on camera, maybe. Yeah, you can, but I wish they would have gotten his scar a little more pronounced on him. But other than that, no complaints. Looking really, really sharp. As he looks up into the eyes of Anakin Skywalker for the final time, Count Dooku knows that he's been deceived, not just today, but for many, many years. That he has never been the true apprentice, that he has never been the heir to the power of the Sith. He's only been a tool. His whole life, all his victories, all his struggles, all his heritage, all his principles, and his sacrifices, everything he's done, everything he owns, everything he's been, all his dreams and grand vision for the future empire and the army of the Sith have been only a pathetic sham. Because all of them, all of him, added up only to this. He has existed only for this. This, to be the victim of Anakin Skywalker's first cold-blooded murder. First, but not, he knows, the last. Then, the blades crossed at his throat, uncrossed like scissors. Snip! And all of him becomes nothing at all. That is so awesome. That, of course, is from the novelization of Revenge of the Sith. God, I miss when Star Wars was awesome. This figure is awesome. I dig this. This, of course, is my old Hasbro Count Dooku from, oh God, maybe 2003, 2004, not sure when. But anyway, he is haphazardly posed up here. That's kind of a crappy pose, but what can you do? It's a Hasbro figure. But looking really, really awesome with Anakin. Just look at that. I know you guys wanted to see something like that. So there he is posed up. Anyway, fan-frickin-tastic. Alrighty, well that is going to wrap up this edition of the Plastic Planet. I really hope you've enjoyed this unboxing and pseudo review of this awesome 1/6 scale Anakin Skywalker from Hot Toys. Great figure. Like I said, there might be some minor QC issues with it as far as the blade, the logistics on the blade goes. The light up feature, I should say. But you know what? It's still awesome. I really do dig it. And I really hope, I tried to add a little bit of a mix into this week. I really hope you did enjoy some readings from both the novelization from Return of the Jedi, from way back in the day, and then of course the novelization from Revenge of the Sith. This is a good book. If you've ever read it, it's a really, really good book. You know, even if you're not a big fan of the film Revenge of the Sith, which I kind of question why you wouldn't be, but even if you're not a big fan of the film, this book is amazing. So, you know, two great Star Wars reads if you're ever just, you know, need to get some real pure Star Wars, you know, get that real fix in. These two books are great. And also, I'm not sure if this is probably considered Legends now, but this was a great book as well. And that is Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader, which takes place weeks after the events of Revenge of the Sith. This is also another really good read if you're a big Darth Vader fan like I am. So anyway, those are 3 recommendations for you as well. So anyway, that's going to wrap things up on the Plastic Planet. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been a nice Friday. My voice has been a little bad this week. I do apologize. I've been getting over a cold. Sorry if I sounded kind of froggy in this video. I do apologize. But, you know, sometimes you got to power through, right? And that's why we have the magic elixir, good old Miller Lite. So anyway, thank you for that, beer gods. So anyway, once again, thanks so much. Please like, share, and subscribe if you dig this. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, because love to have you on board here at the Plastic Planet. All right, guys, till next time, you guys have a great one, all right? And get out there and buy some shit, because, boy, I have been lately. I got like 3 more boxes of shit I need to unload here. It's like Christmas down here in the Plastic Planet. Financially bad decision-based Christmas. It's awesome. All right, guys, till next time, have a great one.